Well, it looks like it's taking forever for David Raya to get his debut for Arsenal, but guess what? It looks like it's not far away from him, though it's really coming longing for the newly signed goalkeeper of Arsenal from Brentford. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash the black button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a Thursday, right? And today is really a very huge day for the Arsenal fans all over the world because it's going to be 6 years ever since you guys last participated into what we call the Champions League football. And Champions League football returns at the Emirates as the draws are going to be done today. I promise I'm going to do a little bit of live stream either onto the Rokani Media Football or the United Matters channel, and we'll be letting you know what the draws are all about and where Arsenal has been really put in the pot. When you look at these pots, allow me throw a little bit into this Champions League football draw and show you the possible teams that Arsenal is really going to face. Because yesterday night we saw to it that Young Boys also went in through, and that was the fourth pot. Now, when you look at the first pot, Arsenal can be the group that has Barcelona, Napoli, Bayern Munich, PSG, Feyenoord, Sevilla, and what is this other team, right? That is the pot that Arsenal can be in, right? So those are groups that Arsenal can find themselves obviously topping. Now there is something better here. Let me get it from managing Baka, and I bring it to you live onto your screens because I want to obviously paint you a very beautiful picture before you go into these draws that are going to be conducted today, knowing exactly what it's gonna be like and what your team Arsenal is going to look like. Now a little bit, 8 hours back, Champions League. I'm just trying to obviously scroll down and see to it that all right. Here I get it. Now the only group where Arsenal cannot be in group 1 is the group of Man City, because these two teams come from the same country, and teams from the same country cannot be drawn in the same group. You know that. Then in group 2, Arsenal can only not be the group that has Manchester United, but they can be the group that has Real Madrid, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, FC Porto, and RB Leipzig. You know. Then in group 3, Arsenal can face any team there: AC Milan, Shakhtar Donetsk, RB Salzburg, Lazio. This is Estera Roja, Braga, PSV, FC Copenhagen. You know. Now in group 4, it's only one team that Arsenal cannot be faced into that group. That is Newcastle, but they can have Real Sociedad, Celtic, Union Berlin, Lens, Young Boys, Galatasaray, and Amas. Now, in brief, we can have a group that has Sevilla, Arsenal, AC Milan, and Celtic. That group is possible. We can have Bayern Munich, Arsenal, AC Milan, and Real Sociedad. That is it. We can have Barcelona, Arsenal, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Young Boys. So that's how it's going to be looking today as we wait and see how these Champions League draws are really going to be made. And we're going to be live onto any of our channels to bring you the latest news and information as far as all of this is concerned. And after these groups are going to be redrawn, I'll be coming and obviously giving you my narrative on what these Champions League draws mean as far as this fixture or this Champions League season is up for the side of Arsenal. So that is it about the Champions League, and let's do something concerning David Raya. Now, David Raya is one of those players that I'm not going to hate to make that debut for Arsenal. And yesterday, the draw for the Carabao Cup, third round was really drawn. And Arsenal is going to be playing away at Brentford. And people are asking themselves, now, is David Raya fit to play for Arsenal as they take on Brentford, a team that loaned him to Arsenal? Yes. Why? He has not played any game for Brentford in this tournament. I found it interesting when Dubravka, the goalkeeper of Man United, went to Man United and was in between the stitches for two games that United played, I think, against, was it, I think it was Everton, right? Yeah, it was against Everton, and is it Burnley, right? So he was later taken back to Newcastle, and it reached an extent when Nick Pope had gotten a red card and couldn't feature into the Carabao Cup finale, and even Dubravka couldn't feature there because he had gone ahead to play his game for Man United. And guess what? He was at Newcastle, a team that United beat in the final, and he got his medal. That is it. He got his medal for being one of the players that really participated into the Carabao Cup journey of Manchester United. So, what makes it funny is that he was a Newcastle player and he got the medal of the team that beat Newcastle in the final. But for David Raya, there is nothing that can stop him from really playing for Arsenal in the Carabao Cup tie against Brentford, because he has not played for them any game, and he can face them like you see in the Champions League. And in the Champions League, it's different. Even if you go ahead and obviously play for a team and they loan you to another team, even if you face it during the round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the finale, you are not blocked from playing for the team. That is it. So David Raya's debut is loading, and he might be obviously facing his former team, that is Brentford, in the next 26 days to come from now. Remember, Arsenal is going to be playing on the 26th of Thursday. That is the day, and they're going to be taking on this side of Brentford. So wait and see whether David Raya is going to make that as his debut or not. Because when I look at the lineup of games that Arsenal have before this game, I don't see David Raya coming in through to obviously play part into this side. Now, these are the games that Arsenal really has. Now, obviously on Sunday, Arsenal is playing Man United. You don't anticipate David Raya to be in between the stitches as Arsenal hosts Man United. September, Everton away from home. He might be in between the stitches as the manager prepares him to obviously get in some game time in. Then the Champions League match day 1. I don't think the manager will sacrifice Aaron Ramsdale for the Champions League game, because Aaron Ramsdale worked hard for Arsenal to get back in the Champions League, and I think he's obviously going to give him that game. Tottenham at home, I don't see David Raya coming in through. And now this is the game when they're playing Brentford on the 26th that I believe is going to be the official debut. Whatever happens, it's going to be his day. This is a David Raya day. So the 26th of Thursday is going to be a David Raya day to play for Arsenal. Now, Bournemouth away from home, I think it's going to be Aaron Ramsdale. And this Champions League game, he might also get a tie. So the Champions League game, they're going to play the first one and second one. I think David Raya will in between the stitches in one of those games. And I think that's why Arsenal had to convince him to join them as soon as possible, because they had very many tournaments to take part in, and the Champions League was one of them. Now, Alex Crook, who works for TalkSport, has something to say about Rob Holding. That I was told at the weekend to expect Rob Holding to leave before the window shuts. He has got European clubs looking at him. I'm not expecting any significant additions for Arsenal. They've spent quite heavily in this window. I think it's about trimming the squad. Now, Arsenal is trying to trim their squad. I'm going to bring you a story of Balogun. Arsenal have gone ahead, obviously put up an announcement 12 hours ago that he officially joins the side of Monaco. And Arsenal have gone to get close to 30 million pounds plus 5 million pounds of add-ons, but they're having a 20% sell percentage. That is it. So that's how beautiful Arsenal are really doing their business. Now for Rob Holding, Mallorca is interested and Luton Town is interested. Now it's all about the player to make his decision. Arsenal want more players to leave. Nicola Pepe in the mix. Albert Sambi Lokonga, Tavares has left. Kienti Hini has left. Balogan has left. Xhaka left. Pablo Mari left. Now they're having Cedric Soares. There is still one other player, Nicola Pepe. So Arsenal clearing out the dead wood, and they want to find themselves in a position of putting up a very huge performance this season. So we wait and see how that pans out for Rob Holding, but it looks like he is really going to leave that side. Now, there is a very huge Arsenal stuff for me that I believe is more than even Nwaneri, that most of you are not paying attention to. This boy goes by the names of Salah, Eddie, Hand. He's really great. And Chris Whitley, formerly an Arsenal correspondent for the it's called what? It's the London. Is it the Football London, right? Now he works for the Networld Pub. He has told us that Arsenal youngster Salah is set to join Den Bosch in the LCT Divisie. That is the second tier league in Netherlands, on loan until January. This guy is really good. I think he's also left-footed. He caught my eye the day I saw him. He's really a talent to reckon with, and I think that is a very huge beacon of hope for Arsenal. And if at all, Arsenal can obviously try to send most of its youngsters in the Dutch league, even if it's the second tier. I think they're having some of the most technically gifted coaches that can obviously see these players improve and improve and improve. I've seen United do that. I've seen Man City do that. Eredivisie is turning out to be one of those leagues that are really so much good at improving young talent and giving people what they want. So for my case, I believe this guy is really going to really blossom. He's a talent, and he's really talented. So let's wait and see what happens for him. But this guy is really important to leave. To me, he's more talented than Nwaneri. That is it. But Nwaneri is having this hype of being an English player, and his PR team, All Machine, works really well, and is going to hate to put himself into a picture of making a debut for Arsenal in the Premier League at the age of, I think he was 16 years and some days. That was a record set. So that is it coming in from our first show of the day. David Raya, Arsenal debut loading. What do you make about it? Do you think it's going to be the Carabao Cup tie, or it's going to be the Champions League game? What do you make about Salah going to the second tier league of the Netherlands, and Rob Holding to leave Arsenal and go on? And the Champions League draws, which group do you think Arsenal, or which teams do you think Arsenal should face? Because I've given you all the parameters on which team Arsenal is going to face, and the draw is on today. So smash the like button, comment and share. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. Bye bye. See you later.